Alright, little follow-up to Survival Technologies video because it was on the subject of something that I've been dealing with lately. Lately, I've been working on upgrading and changing around some of my computer situation. My desktop machine died actually over a year ago now. A little over a year ago, my desktop machine died. I was gaming with it and basically just burned it out. I was gaming with it. I used it with a 32-inch TV that I was using as a monitor. I was playing constantly and I burned it out. As I burned the computer out, I noticed that I had more time for work. I was making more money, and it probably wasn't the healthiest thing in my life to be spending as much time in games as I was. So I never repaired it, never got it back up and running. I switched over to my backup survival computer, which was this Dell laptop, and got the YouTube thing going. That's, could be how your videos ended up, or you end up watching my videos, as I've gotten a lot more active on YouTube producing videos. I was using this for a lot of my video uploads, that sort of a thing, and editing videos, and it is a strong legacy platform computer, dual core, ruggedized chassis. It actually outlasted 4 other computers that I've owned. And 4 or 5, 5 actually. 2 other, two other laptops, 1 other tablet, and 2 desktops. So it's outlasted a lot of other computers out there, and as it's been pretty solid, but it's taken a beating because I've been using it outdoors at the survival retreat place. I've used it on 12-volt systems with a pretty good PWR plus 12-volt adapter. It's been the main hub of all my computing for a little while now, a little bit too long. And some of the buttons don't work, so I have to use a plug-in keyboard. And in order to keep things semi-portable, I use this commando keyboard, right? The little rubberized commando keyboard, which I'm actually currently testing out with a Surface RT. So it came time to upgrade, and I went over to Best Buy, and I've you may have seen from some of my videos, I work for Best Buy. I don't work directly for a particular store. I work with a corporate subcontractor. So if somebody's trying to sabotage my job and figure out who it is I exactly work for and how they're going to screw with me, it's not going to be easy for you, okay? Because I work for a subcontractor of a subcontractor with the company, and they treat me fairly well. So I've been kind of obligated to do my Black Friday shopping at Best Buy, which I'm happy with because they've treated me well. And I got an insider deal for their iPad Mini, $299, and then I got a $100 gift certificate. They've had another promotional going with a Surface RT, which was $199. But remember, I had a gift certificate going, so I used that plus a $100 bill and got this. So for $400, I got both devices, and effectively I got them for the same price. Suggested retail on the iPad Mini is actually a little bit lower, and what I have been using up to this point is an iPhone that I don't have activated through any carrier because I value my privacy a little bit, and you never can totally turn off an iPhone, and the iPod Touch, which I use for a long time for making my videos. And so what happens with these 2 devices is, they're obviously pocket-sized devices. I don't use a separate carrier for them. I put Velcro in the back so I can attach that to the dashboard of my truck, or put it on the wall in any one of my locations, anywhere from the room in the rental that I'm at to the camper trailer, the mobile workshop, whatever. And these are really pretty good full functional computers. It's just they have small screens and there's limitations of what they can do. One of the real big limitations is I can't do a whole lot to edit video that came from a device other than the built-in camera. For example, I have an upgrade camera that I'm doing this video with that I don't think I've ever done a single video on YouTube using this camera because I don't have an SD card slot in this machine, and neither do these, and the main computer's been down since before I got this camera up and running. So I haven't started using it yet. Now I'm going to start using it because I realize there's really a difference in looks on the videos when you go through high definition. So, given that background, what I got was these two things. I'm kind of in the middle of evaluating, and what Julian's been saying about Android tablets and the anonymity, I have to agree with. You don't even turn an Apple on without either jailbreaking it, which severely limits reliability on the device and makes it open to criminal hackers, or registering yourself with Apple and iTunes, and then of course you're safe from everybody but Apple corporate and the you're safe from everybody but Apple corporate and the government. Okay, Apple corporate and the government obviously are going to get into your iTunes. As far as money saved, I don't mind paying for my entertainment. Okay, I don't mind that. I'll pay for the music. I'll give them the buck a song. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to do the midnight hacker thing and try to download these elsewhere. So like Abney Park, okay, I support Abney Park financially by buying their music. Okay, what I'm not a big fan of is the way they change the sorting systems on these all the time. But and there was one song from one of the rock groups that somehow got lost. I don't know how. I deleted it from the computer, but not from the iPod. Then it deleted it from the iPod. It was goofy. But when I ran out of room on the computer, I thought I was only deleting it from the computer and not the iPod. But the new cloud thing helps, I guess, solve that problem. There's just no anonymity whatsoever with this device as far as you and the corporate world and the government. But they're pretty good at protecting you from criminal hackers. They're fairly good at that. With the Microsoft device, what we have here is we have a nice, bigger, brighter screen. Now, supposedly, the Apple is a little bit sharper display. I can barely tell the difference between the two, but it could be because I've got the lowest model of the iPad mini that doesn't have the Retina display, and this has like one of the slightly newer and better Microsoft screens. It's a 2013 Black Friday special Surface RT. The Surface Pro is a little bit higher performance machine. It's just most people agree that it's not $500 of higher performance. So the same discussion with the iPad mini, because with the iPads that get the full account, what they have is that 4G capability, which, you know, in the United States you get one of these puck devices that acts as a little Wi-Fi server and you're good to go for that, or you can tether it to some phone accounts. The thing is there's no anonymity with these devices. The Microsoft one ties into the Microsoft account, the Google ones tie into the Google accounts. None of them are as good as a real computer when it comes to editing video, although the Microsoft Surface, I think, has the most hope in getting there. That's because the RT operating systems, I guess, is used with the Xbox. It's used with some gaming things that a lot of people end up using as a computer anyway. And it's definitely more of an operating system than, let's say, older versions of Windows. What I'm finding, though, is that when I go to websites and a lot of stuff that's really made to be used with a mouse, I got a problem. Okay, when I go to touch the screen and I want to click on a little menu and drop it down or do something with it, it may or may not react the way I want it to react, because it's not interpreting the multi-touch the same way it would interpret, let's say, clicking somewhere with a mouse. So in order to be fully Road Warrior capable with this, you still end up having to carry around a keyboard, a mouse, and a lot of the stuff. So the laptop bag doesn't end up being a heck of a lot smaller and lighter than one with one of these. And with a legacy platform like the Dell, there's spare batteries available. So I would be able to travel, in theory, with no power available at all, but if I carry 3 or 4 batteries with me, I'm in business. And a lot of this, I think, is going to have to do with what somebody's role is in whatever mobile group or application they're going to do. If you're going it alone and you're road tripping, you got to have the laptop. I mean, maybe you can do a lot of cloud computing and carry the tablet around. Let's say, especially if you can access your own server. If you can access your own servers or your own relatively secure cloud from your tablet, it's not the end of the world. I mean, that can work. And, but what I'm finding is the more intense your administrative tasks are, the more computer you just need to have with you. As far as somebody who's conducting operations or something like that, they can start stepping down to the point where it's just basically a smartphone or communication device, and if they're irritated by the small screen on a smartphone or communication device, let me do the password thing on here. If they're irritated by the small screen on a communication device, then yeah, I can see a lot of reason to step up to a little bit bigger screen. It's just that I think in a not so distant future, what we're going to see more of is Bluetooth tethering of of regular computer electronics with the smartphone. That we're just going to Bluetooth tether when you bring your smartphone within range of your keyboard and your screen and your mouse, that you Bluetooth tether those things together and maybe password tether them together, and then they're all functioning together. And then when you put your phone in your pocket and take it with you, you just have the small screen with the pop-up keyboard. You know, so on this, let's say we've got the small screen and the pop-up keyboard. If it's tethered with a yeah, so yeah, there it is. The tethered. You know, not that I have any. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see if I want to type on that. So, you know, we've got the little pop-up screen. Well, if I could tether this with a Bluetooth keyboard, which some people do, that's great. If I can tether it with another screen, which I think the Apple TV stuff does, I'm just not sure, then I've got portable computing. I've got truly portable computing. And that's where I begin to think that maybe this technology isn't done progressing. And this is really where stuff is progressing right now. But it's not done. And so if somebody wants to take a lot of stuff with them, let's say they're traveling or bugging out or something like that, yeah, you know, go ahead and take it. But what you're going to find is probably some sort of a need for permanent storage of all that stuff that you normally keep on the cloud, and then having to hack your own devices so that you can access all of that without going through the device's mandatory accounts, such as the Microsoft account with the Surface device or the iTunes account with that device. And the Google stuff is can be a little bit more anonymous, but what I'm finding is that the more privacy friendly the stuff is, the more hacker friendly it is. So it's a question of whether you want the government breathing down your neck or criminals being able to have access to your stuff. And if you're in a situation where you don't have a heck of a lot to hide anymore, maybe it doesn't matter. But that's my thoughts on this stuff. And I'm going to try and get this video uploaded. Say hi to Survival Technology. We're probably going to be coordinating some videos because he's in the radio business. Obviously, a lot of ham radio stuff in the background there. We're going to be talking about two-way radios, comms, headsets, some of that kind of stuff. And we'll be talking more about that later. So if you guys want to co-subscribe over to his channel, it's going to include a lot of my playlists on the electronic stuff as we coordinate that.